How do we know that the Torah has been corrupted? We know the Torah has been corrupted by looking at Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8, where it reads, or Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 reads, let me get a good translation here. Where is it? I'm trying to look for the New International Version. Let me see here. Okay, yep, there it is. How can you say we are wise, for we have the law of the Lord, when actuality the lying pen of the scribes have handled it falsely? Other translation says, how can you say we are wise because we have the word of the Lord when the teacher has twisted it by writing lies? King James Bible, how can ye say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with us? Look, certainly in vain, and he heareth the pen of the scribe is in vain. How NSAB 1995, how can you say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with us, and behold the lying pen of the scribes has made it into a lie? Okay, so you get the idea. There's a bunch of versions and translations of the Bible. So, well, let's just go with the NIV version. My point was, I was just trying to get some more reading of Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8. But let's just go with the NIV version. It says, "How can you say we are wise, for we have the law of the Lord, when actuality the lying pen of the scribes has handled it falsely?" Now, if you just cite Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8, Christian apologists will say, well, it's talking about the interpretations. What about Jesus confirming the Torah, etc., etc.? So they'll come up with all kinds of bullshit excuses for Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8. But if we read Bible commentaries, for example, if we go to this link, and this article was written in 2018, so it's not too long ago. It's pretty recent. Notice what Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 says, and he's citing the NIV, the New International Version, the version I was just citing. He says, thus the underlying presupposition of this contribution are that Jeremiah's perception of Torah and being scribe influenced the negative statement which the scribes in Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 and 9 are saying. How can ye say we are wise, for we have the law of the Lord, when in actuality the lying pen of the scribes has handled it falsely? The wise will be put to shame and be dismayed and trapped. Since they have rejected the word of the Lord, what kind of wisdom do they have? So according to this author, what's his name? H.L. Bosman in the Faculty of Theology in South Africa. So I'm guessing this is a Christian author or a Christian scholar. He's saying, according to Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 through 9, the scribes were, in charge of writing the Torah, seem to be accused, this is the important part, seem to be accused of falsifying the Torah with their false or lying pen. Now notice what Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 says. When actuality the lying pen of the scribes is handled falsely. Notice that word, the lying pen. So that means the people who are writing, or the scribes who are writing the law or the Torah, have handled it or have written falsely. In Jeremiah chapter 36, verse 4, Jeremiah dictated all the words of the Lord had spoken to him. Bacchai wrote them on the scroll, which is confirmed in verse 18, when Bacchai answered the inquiring officials, yes, he, Jeremiah, indicated all these words to me, and I wrote them in an ink scroll. So now notice what this person is saying, what he's admitting here. He's saying, according to Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 to 9, the scribes seem to be accused of falsifying the Torah with their false and lying pen. So basically what this means is that Jeremiah is accusing the scribes of writing the Torah falsely, or handling the scribes falsely. And we don't even need to, it says, why are scribes accused in Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 to 9 of corrupting the Torah? So, and we don't even need to just rely on this article. If you type in Adam Clark's commentary, hang on, let me get it right now. Adam Clark commentary. Let's see here. Oops. Now you might be saying, who's Adam Clark? Adam Clark was a important Protestant scholar on the Bible. So he's a Christian commentator on the Bible. He even agrees that Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 is talking about the corruption of the Torah. Okay, so we're talking about Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8. It says, Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8, the pen of the scribes is in vain. The deceitful pen of the scribes. Notice what it's saying. The deceitful pen of the scribes. Scribes were people who were writing the Torah. They have written falsely, though they had the truth before them. It is too bold an assertion to say that the Jews have never falsified the sacred oracles. They have done it again and again. They have written falsities when they knew they were such. So Adam Clark is basically confirming that the Jews have tampered in Torah, or the scribes have tampered and altered and corrupted the Torah when he says they have written falsities. Uh, when they did it again and again. And notice this key word here, the deceitful pen of the scribes. They have written falsely, although they have the truth. So the copies of the Torah during Jeremiah's time and after Jeremiah's time were filled with lies and falsities, according to Adam Clark's commentary. So then the question really arises, well, why did Jesus confirm the Torah? Well, who wrote the Gospels? No, nobody knows. It's written by anonymous Greek authors, according to even Christian scholars. So, when Jesus, like you would have to prove that the New Testament is accurate when it says those things. And it's possible that Jesus was talking about the Torah revealed to Moses and not the written Torah. But that's kind of that's not really a provable point. So regardless, Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 8 is talking about the corruption of the Torah. We don't need to you don't need to go far to prove this. You just need to show some Bible commentaries like Adam Clark's commentary, and there are other biblical commentaries like the Bible in Living English, page 9, etc., which confirm or state that the Torah, that Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 8 is talking about the scribes corrupting the Torah. So if you're just citing Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 8, don't just do that. If you're debating Christians or whatever, cite the commentaries too, the biblical scholars' commentary on the Bible, commentaries on the Bible, and you'll see, and it'll be proven that Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 8 is talking about the corruption of Torah according to even Christian scholars themselves. Stay tuned, more videos coming up ahead.